Hello there, welcome to my plugin demo of the plugin that I made called VirtualBass. If I were to give this plugin another name, I think I would call it the Psychoacoustic Bass Enhancer. The objective of this plugin is to make the bass more audible for devices that cannot recreate the bass in the right manner or which have poor low frequency response. Say, for example, most laptop and mobile devices cannot really recreate the bass properly. So, this plugin helps to solve both those issues. So, I would like to explain the how it achieves that using this diagram, this block diagram. And as you can see, the input is passed here, and there are two chains, the dry and the wet. The dry has nothing going on, it just has a dry multiplier, but the wet is where the magic happens. So the low pass filter is the first stage in the wet chain, and that basically helps us filter the the information that we'd want to be heard or be made more audible. So it kind of accumulates all the lower frequencies that we want to make audible. And after that, there is harmonic distortion that's applied. To be more precise, I've used the 8 and distortion that creates harmonics in frequency bands above, uh, in frequency bands which are more audible to the human ear. Um, so the A-tan helps create harmonics in the higher frequency bands, and I've then applied a bandpass filter at 800 hertz, which helps to kind of just filter out the harmonics and not the initial bass. Because if we are summing this in the end, we don't want the initial bass to be summed again with the dry, because that will just make it sound super bassy. We don't want to make it sound super bassy per se, but we just want the bass to be more audible. So therefore, I've applied a bandpass filter here at 800 hertz. After that, there's a wet multiplier, and then it gets summed with the dry. Post that, there is a high shelf at 6000, where I can increase the gain or decrease the gain. The concept behind the high shelf was basically if there are too many harmonics probably produced in the lower, or say low mids, uh, the plugin should have a way to kind of compensate for that by having a knob to kind of boost the higher frequencies. And then after that, there is the output. So I would like to now demo the plugin with a bass loop. Let me just tone everything down. Just bypass the plugin. This is the plugin bypassed. As you can hear, if I mean, right now probably you can hear it clearly, but probably on another speaker which doesn't have a great low frequency response, a lot of this wouldn't be audible. So if I were to remove the bypass, thus you cannot hear anything because the wet and the dry is turned all the way down. Now if I were just for an example, if I were to increase the dry, that's just to demonstrate that the dry is just the clean signal. Now let's just monitor the wet and see what we can come up with as the wet signal. Let me turn that up. You cannot hear anything because the distortion gain is all the way down. So as soon as I start increasing this, you can hear everything. And if I were to play around with the bass frequency cutoff, You see how that separates it. I mean, there's more of the information now actually being bandpassed, and that's just about 60 hertz that's being bandpassed. And now if I were to increase the drive a bit, you will really hear the harmonics acting up. Let's take more of the lower frequency. Let's decrease the gain a bit. And now let's mix in the dry. Just to get a good mix of the dry and the wet. And let me now bypass it. Bypass it. So as you can hear, it's not really adding to the lower frequency bands. To be more precise, it's not really adding anything between 0 to 150-ish, 0 to 200. It's not adding anything there, but the bandpass is at 800, so there might be some frequency included at say around 400, starting from probably like 400, 350 to say around 1200, because if the bandpass is at 8000, depending on the Q value that I've set, it kind of extends around that range. So yeah, there's the thing that's being added is actually not the real bass content, but it's just the harmonics that are being added that creates this effect of you hearing that the bass is actually boosted, but it's not the lower frequency, but the harmonics that are now included because of this distortion. So let me bypass that. Really makes the bass more audible. Let me now add in a song so that, probably give a demonstration about how this also could be used in terms of making the bass more audible in a song. You bypass it. The initial part of the song does not have any bass, so let's wait for that to kick in. Just so that you can hear everything's turned down, so there won't be anything. Okay, bypass it again. Okay, so the bass is kicked in now. Let me bypass it. Sorry, remove the bypass, add some distortion gain. As you can hear the bandpass frequencies. The bandpass frequencies of the things that are under 109 hertz, all those have been shifted a bit. Or you can see or to be more precise, you can hear the harmonics of all this content. Just bypass this. of that bass, which is in the lower frequencies, now in the mids because of the harmonics that are bandpassed. And if I were to probably add some presence or remove it, add it, remove it. It's just a way so that you can compensate for those lower mids, you know. Yeah, I'll keep it about here. Just waiting for the bass to kick in again. Just showing you how that the presence adds a lot of information if I were to boost it or cut it. I mean, it cuts off the information if I were to cut it and adds information at 6,000 if I boost it. But yeah, the bass is back, so let's just hear it without. Yep, that does the trick. Bypass off. So that was my demo of VirtualBass. It really does seem to complete or fulfill the objective that I made it with, and I'm really happy with the simple yet efficient and effective UI design and functionality. Thank you.